Now, we're all familiar with full frame 35mm sensors and those that are below it, which would be the APS-C sensors and the micro four thirds sensors. But what's above the 35mm full frame sensor? Well, those are called medium format sensors. And as of right now, Canon does not offer a sensor larger than the 35mm sensor until now. Now, with the technology of speed boosters, focal reducers, they're all in one. We had that technology with micro four thirds mimicking a full frame look and APS-C doing the same thing. Well, now the company Kipon has introduced with the RF 35mm full frame sensor to adapt old vintage medium format lenses onto it, not only giving you the opportunity to put those lenses onto your camera, but actually giving the focal length and the depth of field and the compression of a medium format sensor. And it is amazing. Now, today's video is going to be very special because, well, I spent a lot of time on it. So hopefully I earn your like, and if you're new, I earn your subscription. But this is something that I've been researching for years and years, and finally I just pulled the trigger. I had to spend my own money to purchase these things to mimic a medium format look onto my Canon R5 Mark II. And I got to tell you, I wasn't sure if I was going to like it, but it is amazing. The look is awesome. I purchased this Kipon speed booster that goes onto the 35mm RF and adapts the Mamiya series lenses. Those are classic medium format, high-end lenses that you can actually get from anywhere from $200 to almost $1,000. They do get pricey. I did pick up a 45mm that I spent around $400 for, and it is in excellent condition, and I got it from KEH. Now, KEH is not sponsoring this video at all, but I am an affiliate partner of KEH. So if you decide to get some vintage lenses or used lenses or gear, please use the link below because it does help this channel and more videos like this, because there was a lot of research and work done onto this video. So as for the timeline of this video today, I'm going to be unboxing the Kipon. I'm going to show you how it looks and feels. Then I'm going to show you some comparison with the 45mm Mamiya 2.8 compared to my 24-70 at actually 31, 32 millimeters, because that would be the equivalent to the 45mm. The compression is going to be a lot different. That's something we're going to talk about. Because when it comes to medium format, you actually have larger focal lengths, like a 45, which gives you the frame of a 32 on a 35mm, somewhere in there, but the compression of a 45. So it's actually not only amazing to look at, but the compression looks really good. So we're going to look at that. I'm going to compare those, and then we're going to go into the cemetery because it's dead quiet. I'm going to take some photos in the cemetery and do some video, and we're going to look at those and how that gives you that unique medium format look. It's going to be really fun. But right now we're going to unbox the Kipon Speed Booster Focal Reducer and take a look at it. So here we go. This is the Kipon Speed Booster, and also known as a focal reducer. Two different meanings right there, and I will describe that in just a little bit. But let's unbox this right away. I'm going to tell you right off the bat before I open this, this is not light for the proportion of the box size. It is pretty heavy, but that's because this is glass. Max T-stop pass-through 2.8, optical design, blah, 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 blah. And again, it is not light. Now, I will tell you that this is probably worth its weight in gold. This thing is solid. This is either a really hard, solid plastic, or this is probably mostly metal. Very good. You've got this nice mount right here. These can come out with a hex screw, or also known as an Allen wrench key. So this can come off completely, and most likely I will take this off. And as you can see, it says Kipon, and it is the M645 for the Mamiya, and it goes to the EOS R system. It's a 0.7 times crop. So that's pretty much like a reverse crop, what you're getting. You got to push down on this, I bet. Then turn it. So it's got a nice locking mechanism right there. That's good to know. And wow, I almost thought there was a dust particle, but that is just the glare on there. Wow, that is some glass. And there you go. Wow, that is something else. It'll be right here. I'll tell you where it's actually, the company is based out of, right here. Now this is the Canon R5 Mark II with the Kipon speed booster along with the Mamiya 2.8 45mm lens. This thing is sharp. Now 100% manual focus, so you're gonna have to get used to that. But with today's technology and the fact that you have all these focus assist tools inside of these Canon cameras, and even the Nikon and the Sonys offer this as well, and you have those assist tools, it's really hard to not get things in focus. Now, are you gonna shoot sports with it? No, that'd be silly. Don't do that. But if you can get your shots gathered, if you're doing interviews, if you're doing anything cinematic, you can probably get those shots that you would want. Plus, over the next few months, I'm going to be adapting more lenses just like this Mamiya 45. I hope to get the 80 soon and see what kind of looks we can get. So if that is something you're interested in, don't forget to be subscribed to the channel and hit that notification bell. Right now, you can see the Mamiya 2.8 45mm, and it is focused right on that candle. Now, if you compare it next to the 24-70 at about 32, 33mm, you are now looking at that comparison in the depth of field. Now, with a speed booster, you are actually getting more light inside of it. So it harnesses that light in there, and it also takes the full width of that lens and then projects it onto the 35mm. So that lens is meant for a medium format camera, which is actually into the 50mm realm. Now, 35mm is full frame. That's in the 50s. That should help you wrap your head around things because the Fuji system is about a 43.5mm sensor. 35mm is full frame. They're about 43. That's medium format. But the Mamiya 645 system is actually into the 50mm realm. Now, with the speed booster, I don't believe you're getting quite that, but you are getting into the upper 40mm look. Now, I'm going to go into more detail in later videos on this specific lens. It is amazing. This is going to be the sole lens we're going to be working with today because honestly, it's the only lens that I have. Now, the Kipon, I want to mention this before I forget it. The Kipon has two different mounts that you can get. They have the same glass inside, but it is how it is designed that is different. So this one is a $500 speed booster, which is pretty reasonable. The downside with it is it doesn't lock into place. So you actually are in, and if you're switching this, it could rotate and come off. So you actually have to be careful. Now again, this focal reducer is $500. If you want the one that locks into place and keeps that lens in place, it's actually $400 more. So Kipon, if you are listening and you want me to review it, I don't think I can buy that on top of this because for $900, that's pretty expensive. So you have to decide if you go down this rabbit trail that I've been going down, and I'm definitely enjoying it, then you might want to get the speed booster focal reducer that has that locked in mechanism so your lens isn't going to move. But again, Kipon, you know me. Not many people can say this, but let's go into the cemetery and see what we can do. Okay, we are in the cemetery right now, and hopefully audio and everything is okay. It is super windy. And if you're curious, I'm using the Rode Wireless Pro, and my backup is the 32-bit float because sometimes it just doesn't connect necessarily correctly. But I am, if I had to guess, I am about 15, 20 feet away from the lens right now, and obviously it's a 45mm, but equivalent to a 31.5mm, 35mm format. So this should be in focus. This is how I got this in focus ahead of time. And so we're gonna do some photos out here. I'm gonna get some video out here, and I'll give you an idea of what that looks like. Now, the aperture I have set, I believe it's f8, could be f11. I believe it's f8 right now. And so a lot should be in focus with this, but it just gets a lot more into the frame. Yet the compression is right there of a 45 millimeter. So the compression of a 45 millimeter and the width frame of a 31.5 millimeter. And if we ever go any bigger, which I plan on doing a 80 millimeter, which would be equivalent to like a 56 millimeter framing, but the compression of an 80, that would look even greater. Let me know if you want that. I do plan on picking up the 80 millimeter. And yes, so let's get some shots around here and we'll go from there. Now, when working with a manual lens, especially a vintage lens like the Mamiya, I had to focus on something on the same plane as I. So this is the cemetery stone here that I focused on, made sure I was right here. So the images that you get out of this, and this was at 5.6 right now. So obviously the 45 millimeter, f5.6, and it is cold. We were 80 degrees yesterday, and now on Halloween, it is like 48, 49 degrees here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. But the image, even at 5.6, the bokeh in the background, and if you say bokeh, I'm okay with that. Bokeh, bokeh, whatever. I have a Wisconsin accent. We all judge each other. So it does give a nice, soft background. And right now I am probably about 6 feet away from the camera, so not too bad. But what makes this really good with an interview type style is you would be interviewing somebody and you would be behind the camera, be able to control the focus and everything and have it pre-controlled. The image that you get out of these is amazing. Now, I will tell you, it does take some getting used to, manually focusing, but the shots you get, in my opinion, have been a lot better. I have a tear coming down, I'm so emotional, it's cold, are a lot better than what I have been getting with my $2,000 RF lenses. You do not get bokeh like you do with these vintage lenses out of these RF lenses. The RF lenses are clinically perfect, but perfection clinically isn't always perfect. Flaws are unique and nice, and that's what you get out of this. And I absolutely love it. Let me tell you, am I creepy? Yes, I'm in a cemetery on Halloween. Nobody is here. I have a video camera on me. It's like Blair Witch style. But I gotta tell you, I can't get over how awesome this lens is. And if you're somebody that loves photography and even videography, it gives you time to get the shots that you really need, because we rely on autofocus so many times, and really it comes down to the camera almost doing all the work. So when you have a lens that you have to manually focus, you have to be deliberate with these shots. And so when I'm out here, I'm actually taking my time, I'm setting up the shot, I'm looking for what I want instead of just going by and being like, oh look, click, oh look at that, click. Here you just, I don't even know how to explain it. You're with it, you're enjoying it. This is what I remember doing back in the 90s and early 2000s when it came to photography. And as technology has progressed, things just became very simple. But what I have found is the shots that look the best are the ones that are the hardest to achieve. Everybody can take photos with a Canon RF lens, with a Canon RF body, but when you have something that is unique, harder to manage, you get unique shots that do not look like everybody else's shot. And that's why I think vintage lenses and manual lenses are going to come back, because now you have to work a little bit harder. and you get really interesting, neat shots. I thought I'd change it up, and now I'm kind of just leaning over this cemetery stone and looking at Robert Delaney, born in 1856 and died in 1919. I'm sure he had a great story, but we'll never know it. Anyways, the bouquet that you get out of this, again, I can't reiterate, it is different, it is unique, it is awesome. And I think I'm gonna be doing a lot more shots with this. It definitely can encourage anybody to go out and buy these lenses, especially since I bought this one for around $400. It was like $375. And depending on the copy you get, you'll look good. Poor Robert Delaney. Nobody remembers him. Now, I do want to mention that I have the affiliate links of the Kipon Speed Booster Focal Reducer and for KEH, where you can find these classic lenses. And I gotta tell you, it's good. And the thing I like about KEH and a lot of these other used photo stores is that they will rank them for good, mediocre, fair, excellent, mint. If you could find a mint, good luck. They're really hard. But I believe this lens was excellent, or excellent plus. That's what I got. It was like an excellent plus. And so I knew that this thing should be pretty decent, and this lens has performed amazing. The flare in it is unique, and some people hate flare, but in day and age where everybody has a perfect lens, it's nice to have something that looks different and not the same as everybody else. Now, I'm sure there's things that I have not covered specifically with this camera and the speed booster, but I hope to get some more lenses starting with the 80mm. Now there is an 80 2.8 and there's an 80 1.9. The 2.8 can be found pretty easily. The 1.9 is not common. It's pretty rare because it's one of the fastest medium format lenses out there. And so it ranges anywhere from about $300-400 all the way to over $1,000. So to find it, it's difficult to get a good copy. But when I find it, I will buy it. Now, I want to hear what you guys have to say down in the comments below. Is this something you'd be interested in going down the rabbit trail? I feel like I'm one of the trailblazers because there's not many people that have gone down this trail, and I spent my own money to go here because really, I've been wanting to do medium format for a long time, yet I don't want to buy into a whole new camera system like Fuji, at least right now. Leave a comment below if this is something you're thinking about getting into or that I just introduced to you and now you're really excited about it. Because I gotta tell you, it's kind of jump-started a little heart flutter for me in photography land again. Because having perfect lenses kind of gets boring. It's nice to have unique looks that's not like everybody else. I hope I earned your like and your subscription if you're not subscribed already, and I'll see you in the next video. And of course, a lot of you are new to this channel right now. This video, I know this is a good video, so you are gonna check out these other videos, and these are the rabbit trails that you can go down. They're fun.